Peace and blessings. Um, just want to read some of my words that I wrote today because I just wanted to express how I'm feeling about this last year that I went through. Today's December 26th. It's the 52nd year of my born day. And, I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for life, especially in this time like we've never been in a time like this in my 52 years where death is everywhere. Every one of us have experienced some sense of loss within the last year, and especially in the last 2 years with this pandemic. But I've been fortunate, not to get sick. Those around me have been fortunate not to get sick during these past 2 years. And if they have been sick, it's been mild and nothing major. So we've been fortunate in my family, in my household, and those around us. But I know a lot of people haven't been as fortunate. So I'm thankful, and I'm praying for those families who have suffered loss. But since the pandemic began, we've been pushing our business harder than ever, knowing that this time could either make or break a business like ours, especially being in the industry that we're in with all of the restrictions that were put in place up front, with all of the businesses that were in some form of hospitality, whether it's, restaurants or, social, any type of business that involved socializing. So it was a tough time for those businesses. And some businesses did not survive some of those restrictions. So I'm thankful that we were able to survive. But we worked harder. We worked harder in this last 2 years than we have in the last 11 years of doing business. So we were out and about in the heart of the pandemic, in the beginning of the pandemic, in the heart of the pandemic, knowing that it was a big push to survive. But in that, we were risking getting sick. In that, we were around a lot of people who were shopping, who were thinking like we were thinking, that we have to survive. We got to get out there every single day and push. So, we practiced social distancing. We practiced wearing our masks. We got into arguments because people weren't respecting the social distancing in the beginning. But we took it very serious. Even though we were out and about, we took it very serious. And we've been fortunate, like I said. So I'm thankful that we survived this. We actually opened up another business during this time in Plainfield. We got a fish market and another takeout business. And it's hard right now because finding help at this time, we're experiencing what everyone else is experiencing. But we still count ourselves as lucky, for lack of a better word, but we're blessed. But in that, all of the hustling and all of the working and all of the pressure to survive and to maintain our businesses and not get sick and to maintain our health, I had a major event that happened personally with myself that probably the only people closest to me are aware of. I had a breakdown, a mental breakdown, from all the pressure, and I was probably overwhelmed and probably exhausted and didn't realize it. But my mentality has always been, since I was young, to keep pushing, and keep pushing. It's the only way you're going to survive is by keep pushing. But Allah showed me something. He said, sit down. And I know it was from above because there's nothing I can do. I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up and push the way I've been pushing anymore. I felt imbalanced. I felt that my equilibrium was off, that, when I got up to move, that I felt dizzy. That's how bad it was. And I would have to sit down and lay down. And I told those around me that, I got to chill for a minute. I got to sit back. I never experienced anything of this. And at the thought of going out into the public to do what I had to do, I would experience a shaking, like instability, where something was wrong, and I knew it. So I laid down for a couple of days, but the people around me said, hey, you're exhausted. You need to, and I'm talking about my wives. They told me that you have to take care of yourself. We'll do what we have to do while you take care of yourself and get better. But, I still got up and did my running around for the businesses in the morning, but I had to step away from the daily interactions with customers and things of that because I had some form of social anxiety. I just couldn't do it. I never experienced anything like that in my 52 years, but I experienced that mid-2021. So I owe those around me, my wives, everything. And I would actually need another lifetime to be able to adequately fulfill my duties to them for what they have done to me over the last 20 and 30 years, respectively. But within that 3 months of darkness, I went into the darkness of my mind, and I was able to see the light. It was 3 months that I stepped away from most of my responsibilities in business. But in that time of darkness, I went into my mind to figure out how to get better. And it was a private affair with me and God. But in that time, I saw the light. I was able to see light within my mind. I was able to see a way out. So what I focused on was making sure I was able to see things and people clearly for what they were. What was burdening me was my disappointment in people, and what was burdening me was the letdowns that I was feeling. As hard as I was pushing, and if customers didn't appreciate what we were doing and they were being negative, then I felt let down. I felt, wow, all of this that we're trying to do, we're putting our lives at risk to make sure we continue to offer this service at this time. And it was things like that, and just letdowns from certain people around me that I felt like I've done things for, and they weren't really there when I needed, or they didn't show appreciation. So what I learned was that I had to raise my emotional IQ and my emotional intelligence to understand what was causing me to feel this way. It's not what was on the outside making me feel this way. It was something, the way I was thinking in my mind towards a certain situation that was making me feel these letdowns that I was feeling were led to sadness or anger or depression. So I learned to raise my emotional intelligence and my awareness. And I learned not to have unreasonable expectations when it comes to others, because most of those expectations weren't realistic. What I learned was to not lower my expectations for myself. Don't lower the expectations for myself, but don't raise your expectation for others, because when you do that, you're setting yourself up to be let down. So I learned to set boundaries when it comes to my emotion. So if someone shows me the signs, certain signs, then I say, okay, I got to step back. I can't pour into something or someone that don't have the ability to show appreciation or empathy or sympathy for what I'm trying to do. That's all. And it's not their fault how I felt. It's my fault for not being able to set boundaries and things like that. So I learned my triggers, what my triggers were, and I learned to set boundaries so that I won't reach those triggers. And I did my due diligence when it came to my self-awareness. I did my due diligence. The self-work. Most of the work in our lives is self-work. There's no one more important than you. No one. No one on the planet more important than you. And when we understand this, that if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of others. If I would have had the full mental breakdown that led to a physical breakdown, then there's nothing I can do to serve the purpose that I think that I'm here for. And we all have a purpose that we're here for. And really, the purpose is simple. It's to make your world, the world around you, a little bit better than it was when you got here. It's really simple. We don't have to glorify our purpose and romanticize these big dreams of what our purpose should be. Just make your world, your space, wherever you are, a small space, wherever you go, make it a little bit better than what it was when you got there and you're serving your purpose in life. It's not to make it worse, it's to make it better. And if we all just did that little deed, those little deeds, this world would be a better place. It would be a better place. And we wouldn't be dealing with all the pain and hardship and all of the things that we're dealing with today, because we would take care of one another. By taking care of yourself. So I say all that to say that I'm thankful, I'm blessed. I'm blessed for my breakdown even within this last year. Because I'm mentally stronger than ever before in my life. I'm physically stronger maybe than ever in my life. I focus on myself mentally, and then the physical followed right behind. I changed my diet. I started eating right. I started going to the gym more so. I used my alone time productively, and I was able to lose 25 to 30 pounds. I inspired others around me to do the same. In that, they've inspired their friends and others around them to do the same. My businesses are getting stronger with the new spirit of people who reflect my ideas of what work ethic should be. And my customers are taking notes and appreciating some of the positive changes that we put in place. Our food is starting to taste better. The place is cleaner. Just things that come along with the new mindset. And I believe because of those boundaries that I set and my unwillingness to accept certain things, that I'm starting to attract more like-minded people. And in that, the food tastes better because people care. So things are getting better. So I'm thankful for what I went through. You know, my father, who I brought here 2 years ago from North Carolina because he was very ill and he called me for help. I brought him up. And he was very sick, and we didn't know when he got here. But it's been almost 2 years now. He's gaining his health back rapidly. He's not a diabetic no more. He was on diabetic medication when he was up here, when he first came up here. And, you know, he's been going to all of his appointments and getting the care that he needs now, and he's no longer a diabetic. He's not in danger of losing his kidney like he was when he first got here. He was almost to the point where he needed dialysis. He's no longer at that point. He had prostate issues which have been addressed through surgery, and he's healthy. My father's healthy. He just turned 78 11 days ago, and he's gaining his health back and gaining his strength back, and I'm very thankful for Allah for that. So he's doing fine. One of the biggest positive things after all of my experience of negative, Allah has sent me a prophet. Allah has sent me a prophet. I have no question about it. And she is not what I expected or what I was looking for, but she sure came at the right time and at the right place and spoke life and spirit back into me. She renewed my spirit. She confirmed my findings about the boundaries, that I should set boundaries and moving on from those who are not meant to go where I'm trying to go. And there hasn't been a time that she prayed for me or spoke words to me from Allah that didn't bring me to physical tears. I know that Allah sent her to me. And I'm thankful for my Christian sister my friend and my prophetess. It's December 26th, my born day. For those around me, you know what time it is. You know what day it is. It's what we refer to as Big Homie Day. And you know what we do today. And it's what we've done for the past few years on this day. We go out and we feed the less fortunate by giving some of what Allah has blessed us with. That's what we do on December 26th, my born day, which we call Big Homie Day. I thank everyone in advance for all the birthday wishes. I am truly blessed, and I hope that you and your family are blessed as well. Glory to my Lord the Most High. Glory to my Lord the Most High. Glory to my Lord the Most High. Assalamu alaikum.